And actually, the way I knew her is not just because she was Caroline Kennedy's daughter, even though I worked with Caroline in the Obama administration. It's because she was a really first-rate climate change journalist. She worked for the New York Times. She wrote a book called Inconspicuous Consumption. I did a project with her on looking at ways in which people could, on their own, contribute to the fight against climate change. I think she would want to be remembered as someone who was not just from this illustrious family, but who did work and really carved out her own identity as a writer, as a journalist, and then, of course, as a mother. And, look, I mean, it's to connect these stories, like, she comes, the best side of that family, and she very much represents it, are people that want to serve other people. And Tatiana was like that. As a climate change journalist, she didn't just kind of write about the science. She wrote about what people could do, about how people could have agency in their lives, which, if you think about it, is very much in keeping with what her grandfather did, which is inspire people to serve and to try to find some way to make a difference in something that they cared about. That's why her loss is so tragic, and that's why the kind of desecration of this memorial to her family, not just to her grandfather, but really to the best side of the Kennedy family is so tragic, because Donald Trump represents the opposite of that. But I think today, it's obviously just a horrific, tragic day. We knew it was coming. She told the world it was coming. But I think we have to remember her as a person in full, who really made her own mark and her own contribution and her own legacy, which will live on, frankly, after the Trump letters are taken off the wall of that memorial.